Hey guys, it's Yishan here. I am here with my good friend Kyle, who you guys probably already know if you've clicked on this video. And he got top four at the first or last gaming event. About 150 people. I think it was hosted along with Nim Nim and Pack. And this was, a big event. Top four. I think you got like a mat and a case for getting top four. And I think I really wanted to get your deck profile because there is a lot of different ways to build Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade. I was just looking at Raphael Nevin's deck profile. Um, you know, as you can see, you're on the statue. A lot of people aren't even on Crossout or Prosperity. You're going like in a different direction. So I think a lot of people like to hear because I'm sure there's a lot of statue believers out there, and
Yeah.
they get sort of suppressed by the masses because everyone, a lot of times we just play whatever we see online. Um, so if you want to go through your deck, bro, I think a lot of people are really interested. You did really well. So yeah, if you could
Yeah.
take it away.
So I think first things first is I'm not someone that plays 40 like ever. um, I always will play like 41, 42, 60, not 40. But there was one day where I was playing 42, and it was just I 3 matches straight. Every single game I brigged, and I won a lot of them, but the problem was I just didn't like what was happening, so I just took a couple cards out. And the magic of playing 40 is surreal sometimes. Sometimes I open my hands and I'm like, wow, this deck is the most consistent thing I've ever seen. So for now, 40 is I'm vibing with it.
You're vibing
Maybe
with
not.
it.
We'll see how long I vibe with it, but for now, it's really good.
There's like
Um,
there's like it's like the destiny, like the Yu-Gi-Oh gods are rewarding you for playing
yeah,
40.
exactly. They said you played 40. Here's a case of Bode.
Yeah, exactly.
So some things of note before the deck profile. I just want to give a quick shout out to Anthony Vang for hosting the whole thing. It was a crazy event. A lot of people. I haven't been to a in-person big event like that for 2 years, so it was pretty wild. Then everybody I played against was really cool. Did want to mention out of top 16, I was the only bird player to make top 16, and I got top 4, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, so here's the deck. I am playing 3 Warbler, pretty standard. After that, it's slightly less standard. I play 2 Cobalt, 2 Barrel, 1 Wagtail, and 1 Sapphire. I played 2 Cobalt and 2 Barrel because Barrel at least is another combo extension or a starter. Cobalt, I think, is just I would rather see Cobalt over Wagtail, and I think the 3 of the Searcher level 1 birds is a sweet spot because as we'll get into the rest of my card choices, I have lots of ways to get into what I need. So it's just I don't have to play as many of these little birds per se. And then Sapphire, I just have never liked seeing in my hand most of the time. There's times where I open it and I'm like, oh, great, I have 5 birds. This hand will be great. But there's times where I wish it was any other bird in my hand when it's just Fractal and a Sapphire Swallow. Moving on to Tri-Brigades, this is what I've been playing the whole time. It's just 3 Fractal, 2 Nerval, 1 Karis, 1 Kit. Karis and Kit aren't really as necessary in this version, so 1 is fine. Kit's literally just there for Oath, and then games 2 and 3, if I go second, most of the time Kit and Oath are not in my deck. Just because I'd rather see anything else.
Yep.
And then Karis is fine. Karis is an extender. I know a lot of people talk about just playing 3 Nerval. There hasn't been a time where I needed the 3rd Nerval yet. I would rather just be either a pot or another hand trap going second. 2 Nerval's perfectly fine. If they take one off Jack in the hand, I only needed 1 to do my combo. And if they get rid of it later, I get a free card. So 2 is fine. And then I do play Statue in this build. I do not play Apex on my main deck. When I was doing the math and I was doing the testing, most matchups I played against, this card would still win me the game. The only matchup where it's not good against right now is Flunder or Mystic or like rando Mystic Mine decks.
Mystic Mine and Flunderies are basically the two reasons. I agree.
But like even in the mirror, there's so many things they can't summon that make this card worth it. And every control deck that is good, besides Flunder, has to summon some kind of monster to make their engine good. Like Altergeist has to use Multi-Faker. Eldritch can't bring out their Lord or any other trap cards. Guru needs to bring out Dragoon. They can't.
I actually find that Barrier is much better against the trap deck because either they're running Lava Golem or they just can't win basically because they like that's their plan is to like go Lava Golem you.
Yeah, you can't Lava Golem me with my statue out.
Yep.
And then like most decks, Apex lets them attempt to play. Mm-hmm. Statue, they pass and I kill them. I have 8,300 damage on the board. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's just for now. I think Statue is the one like some org brick I'd like to play in my main deck. I would never play both of them ever again in the same deck. You just draw them too much. Mm-hmm. And if we switch into a meta that calls for Apex being better, maybe. But right now, even in the mirrors, it's worked for me.
Okay.
Hand trap wise, I played 2 Ash. I was playing 3 Ash for a while, but Ash is just not as good as like Imperm right now. Imperm's really good against literally every single matchup.
Yeah, it is.
And Ash is subpar in quite a bit. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see Ash in like the Sword Soul matchup, or even sometimes against this matchup. I don't really want to see Ash more than Imperm.
Yeah,
Ash is like good. Yeah. So I play 2 Ash. I play 1 Veiler, 1 DD Crow, and 1 Nib. The Veiler and Nib are because I play Crossout. I just want to have it. I know some decks are playing Veiler and Imperm, so I'd rather have both just in case. And then I play Nib because it was between Nib and Droll, and more people are playing Nib right now than they are playing Droll in their main deck. If we come to into a format where Droll's going to switch back into the main, I'd probably put my Droll in over Nib. But for now, the Nib has given more results than the Droll did. Mm-hmm. And then DD Crow, of course, is searchable, so there's no reason not to play the 1.
Yeah, makes sense.
Spell-wise, this is where I think my list differs majorly from most people.
Yeah.
I play 3 Prosperity. I will always stand by that. This is the best consistency card in the entire game.
Yeah, I mean it's good for sure. I guess most people was like the extra deck is so tight.
And I will not argue that because it is. I'm going to be honest. There are games where I end my first turn with 2 cards in my extra deck.
Yeah.
If you can't clear my board, I win. And if you do, oh well, I wasn't meant to win because it's just so good. And like going first game 1, there's just cards that you aren't gonna need that game. You can just take them out. Like most of the time, my assembled, my Zeus, and my Access Code just come out, and I don't think about them ever again. Because there's only rare situations where I'm like, oh, I wish I still had Zeus, but I can still do this, and it doesn't matter. So in those situations, it kind of sucks. But other than that, Prosperity is just so good in being able to get whatever you need from those top 2 cards. I never banish 6. I will put that out there. I almost never banish 6. It's only against like Mystic Mine or something like Striker where I don't need my whole extra deck. I need some org that I would banish 6 and like dig for like an importer or like Lightning Storm or something. That's very, very rarely. I can't remember the last time I did it. I also play Crossout. This is not standard either, but I like Crossout more than Talents right now. Crossout lets me continue playing through like turn any hand traps such as Nibiru and Droll or Lancia even, whereas Talents just lets me look at your hand and hope I still have enough to keep playing. I would like to just ignore the middleman altogether and just keep playing.
Yeah, this is interesting. Well, why 2, by the way? Because it seems like A
Um,
lot of people that play Crossout, they're like committed because they're gonna play all these like one of hand traps.
so I played 3. I was playing 3, and I kept drawing 2,
Okay.
and I hated it. Now when I play 2 in a when I play 2 crossouts and a called by, it's like magical. I draw when I need it. I don't have it when I don't.
Suppose that does help, especially when you top four. That's usually some things have to go your way when you top four, right? So
Yeah. Plus, also, I like 2 ofs and 1 ofs. They're fine. I'm not like super against them.
yes, yes, yes.
And then this is more standard. I do play the 3 bird call. One of the best cards in the deck. And then I still play Jack in the Hand. I do not play Small World. Jack in the Hand only really punishes you in the mirror, and that's only sometimes, because whenever the times I have resolved it in the mirror and they take what they need, they still usually can't break through the entire board. So it ends up being fine. Saturday I did play 1 mirror, but I went second, so this didn't really come in too much. But I still like it.
Okay.
And then for my 1ofs, I do play Foolish still. Having 5 copies of Fractal is sometimes better than having 4 copies of Fractal.
Yeah, makes sense.
I just having the names is great. 1 for 1 can be full combo 90% of the time, so there's no reason not to play it.
Yeah, it's one of the best extenders I've found too. It's like basically impossible. You can't
Extender,
play around
starter,
it. It's limited.
yeah, anything.
So.
Called by, just to make having 2 crossouts and a called by, because called by still hits things that I don't play. Because like you're not going to catch me playing like Bell or Shifter in my main deck or my side deck. So just in case I draw my called by and they have Shifter, I don't lose.
Yeah. Plus, you can use this on random stuff like DPE.
Yeah, DPE, Eldritch, Cobalt Sparrow.
Yep.
That's another thing I didn't mention about Crossout. Crossout is amazing in the mirror.
Yeah, well, that's the king. This card is king in the mirror. Like it's like the best card. It's so good.
Like in the mirror, I will side out Kit, keep an Oath, so that I can call by your Oath.
That's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. And then I play 3 Imperms. I think Imperm is one of the best hand traps in the format. It's the best off the top of the deck too.
Yeah, I agree. It's just the best right now.
Especially with like something like Sword Soul in the format, where if you can, sometimes when you just Imperm them, they pass.
Yeah.
Or like if you top deck Imperm on a Baron, that gets rid of their hard negate, and you can try to play. And then I play Oath. Oath sometimes feels awful to draw, but what can you do? Every time it went into my graveyard, it didn't just stay in my graveyard. It was used every time.
Yeah, well, actually, I find that a lot of times if I send Oath, I never get to see like the Dark Ruler. My opponent will tell me after, like, oh yeah, I had a Dark Ruler or I had a Droplet. But
yeah, some people also won't read your cards,
right? So
they'll activate the Dark Ruler and then I'll negate it, and then they'll be like, oh, didn't know it did that. Let's go to game 2 or 3.
I still like the you open full combo so much now because of Bird Call and like I don't know. I still am like I might be sold on the statue, like, but I still don't understand why people don't play Oath. I just honestly I don't get it.
I'm telling you, Oath is live in 97% of my hands.
Who are people playing
I will make
against?
Yeah, I can make it live. The people who say they don't get hit with Dark Ruler and Droplets, I want them to go to actual events.
Maybe like their decks are like a lot more hand traps, so they can like just play. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm an Oath fan as well, but I see a lot of lists without it. So like, maybe I should try it out because I
don't want to sit. I just hate feeling like I'm sitting there doing nothing when I get Dark Rulered when I could have just sent an Oath.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like hard because I understand why people don't play it, but I also understand really, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Side deck wise, this changed a little bit, but it's mostly the same as what I've been playing. I play 2 Joels. I did main 1 Joel, but I switched it because it's just not being mained as much. It's really good in the mirror. It's good against like if someone's randomly playing Drytron. Invoked is still very popular, and it's very good against Invoked. This will probably stay in my side deck because worst case, it's also special Warbler, Normal Summon, have worst case Utopic Draco. Two Lancias, because this deck is still in the format. There's people are still playing pure. Um, People are still playing random, like Dragon Link. It's good against Eldritch. Lancia is just really good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Pankratops is in my side deck. This card has come in handy quite a lot. Like if I opened like backer removal or like a Dark Ruler, but they have like anti-spell. Pankratops popping an anti-spell feels so good.
Yeah, I'm a big believer. Honestly, I'm a believer. This card should be in your side deck. There's no reason why not. It's so good.
It's so free.
It's
And
so
if you don't
free.
and if you get there's been games where I've been like scythe locked, but I drew this and I just special this, do some other stuff, and then just leave this on the board with like a hand trap or two, and it's enough.
Yeah, I agree. This card it's so good. So
good. Yeah. And then I also side deck Apex just for the matchups where statue is just not literally does nothing. Like I'll side this in against like Mine, Striker, Thunder, because the hard negate in those matchups is just better. The only thing I hate about Apex is I feel like I draw it every single time I sided it, like every single time.
Yeah, I draw this card a lot too, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Back removal wise, I play 2 Lightning Storms. We can't really play evenly in this deck because you get Lancia. It kind of sucks. It not only did you waste your battle phase, you wasted your entire turn.
I agree. It's like the same reason no Cosmic either. It's like,
yeah.
If you get
but this also works for combo matchups and back row matchups. That's why it's just crazy. I play 1 Duster. It fills in the spot of the 3rd Storm. You don't have to, just so you have a little bit of variety. Like if they can negate once and you have Duster or something, it still works. This one's kind of weird. I play 1 twin. I play a single twin, and I've talked about this before. It's OCG theory. It's comes up when you need it, and when you don't need it, you don't have to put it in. It's for very specific matchups, like Invoked and Prank Kids, and I sided it in against Prank Kids on Saturday and won because I drew it.
That sounds like a man who top forward right there.
I drew it, and then OTK'd them in under 5 summons. So it's worth. And then I played 3 Dark Rulers. I don't play Droplets. There's no reason why I just don't want to play. There's no reason why I just don't want to play Droplets. It's just so expensive compared to Dark Ruler. And Dark Ruler, I don't have to waste cards out of my hand.
Yeah, how do you find this card on the side? Because sometimes I almost like never want to put this like. I find this card useless sometimes, but sometimes
every time I activate it, usually I win. So
I mean,
even if I just have the Dark Ruler Zeus, that's literally the best combo in the game. And like against Sword Soul, getting rid of 2 of their 2 negates, it's real good.
Yeah, it's good against Sword Soul.
And against our deck, if they don't send Oath, they lose.
True.
Because you commit you commit too many resources to make your board. That if you get Oath or if you get Dark Ruler and I make my board, you're not winning. Then one of Imperial Order is one of the most unfair cards in the game, so there's no reason it's just not in my side deck. My top 16 match was just game 1 normal, game 2 he had Importer, game 3 I had Importer. So but I did misplay and did not flip it up because I was playing around Droplets and I almost lost.
Sounds like fun right there.
But I didn't lose, so it's fine. It's fine. And then Red Reboot, also a very unfair card against trap decks. I side this in against almost everything. Almost everything will have a trap card in their deck that you do not want them to activate.
That's true.
Lord Soul, it negates black. It'll get rid of Blackout, Importer, Red, or Anti-Spell, whatever they have. The Mirror, I don't play Featherstorm, but everybody else does, so I would like to not lose to Featherstorm. Even Sword Soul some people playing Sword Soul are starting to play Featherstorm, so I really just don't want to lose to Featherstorm.
Yeah.
Or like if you are playing Sanctum, just any trap card.
I agree. Yeah, Sanctum's everywhere too. It's so annoying.
And like if you're playing against like Eldritch, when they set 5 activate a Heavenly Prison, Red rebooting them and then making a Zeus wins you the game.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't change anything about my side deck right now. It feels really good, and I can almost always visualize what I need to slot in and out like on the spot, and I think it's just weaved in good for now. Eventually probably as the meta shifts, so obviously change, but
Okay.
this is really good for now. X-Deck wise, I don't think anything has changed since my last profile, but I'll just run through it real quick. I play Assembled and Zeus. Still really good. I had a guy yesterday, really didn't read us, or Saturday, didn't really read Assembled. I went into battle phase, he chaliced it, and I activated its in effect in
Yeah.
response. And he was like, "Oh, you can do that?"
Yeah.
And I went, "Yeah." And then he also dropped lists, but he misplayed and did not send the chalice. He sent his monster, so it still made Zeus anyway. But so it was fine. But this package is really good. Most of the time, this if I'm going first though, and I draw Prosp, these come out. Just because if I'm making my board, I probably won't need this.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
And then I play 2 Recital, part of the combo. It's really good. Searches cards. You can cheese an OTK with it too. You can force the tie. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. It's funny.
On some blue, I play the one of just in case you have your barrels, you have to rely on your barrel combos.
Yep.
Then you'll have it. And it's good to like if you get like Lanciate or Drolled and you need to end on this, you can at least have recovery because you can grab back your Warbler or something next turn. And then also F-Zero package. This card was crazy all day on Saturday. They could not get rid of it the first turn, they never won.
Yeah, this card's really good.
Like if I got even lead, I would just keep this on the board, and most of the time I would win. Link monster wise, I play Almirage. I like Almirage more than Link Creo because I use Almirage in some of my combos to like trigger Nerval and get Almirage off the board so I have a zone. So I like Almirage a lot. And there's been a lot of people are playing Ghost Ogre. Oh, so if you have Ghost Ogre and like random Virtual World or like Blackout, Almirage is just really good right now.
Yeah.
Like I had to do Barrel the other day at a different event, and they Ghost Ogre my Recital, and I had Almirage, so I could survive. And then Tri-Brigade wise, 1 Fairjet, 1 Bear Broom, 1 Shrig. A lot of people aren't playing Bear Broom anymore. Bear Broom won me lots of games on Saturday just by discarding my whole hand so I can kill you.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting. I mean, I haven't played it for a while. I never noticed that I need it, but it could be that the fact that since I'm not playing it, like I don't realize that I actually need it, which is interesting.
Yeah, the discard 2 comes up quite a lot. And I know you can like search for Oath. That's bad. I wouldn't do that. But I also wouldn't play Revolt because I only play 1 Shrig, and I don't think you need Revolt in this type of deck. Which is crazy to think about since everybody like Revolt was considered like the best Tri-Brigade card for like the last couple months.
Yeah, well, they printed Bird Call, which is like now the best Tri-Brigade card.
And then non Tri-Brigade links, I play Ancient Warrior. Still one of the best link 2s. There's not much I can say. Some Org. Best link 3.
The best.
It's
so
crazy.
broken.
Harris Velger. Some people still don't play this anymore. This card let me kill people twice on Saturday with 4800 attack, and it makes access code. This card is really good. And with DP and like Striker in the format, this card's even better. Yeah. And then finally, I play access code. Not a lot of people are playing access code, but this makes Cobalt Sparrow into 8300 damage. I would like to kill people if I have the chance, so I play access code.
Makes sense.
And that's basically it. That's what I played on Saturday, and it did me quite well. I lost round 1, so I was kind of scared, but I climbed my way back up.
There you go. I mean, I think this is really cool. I think it's what I love about this deck is that there is like so many in Yu-Gi-Oh that sort of like clear deck building decisions that like are clear differences don't really come up that much anymore. Like Sword Soul, honestly, most of the deck profiles are the same.
Yeah.
But this is like 2 people playing the same deck and come with different lists, and both still do well, which I think is really cool. Like it's hard to tell which version is the best.
I don't think there really is the thing. I think just that's why I hate when everybody's always asking for everybody's list for this deck, but like I think the best thing for this is just to test what you like, because it's going to end up working if you just know it well enough. I mean, I think that's part of the reason I can contribute some of my success with like this deck in particular is because of how long I've been playing it as well. I can play it slightly less than standard, and I have all those routes in my head, and it makes it just I can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think no, honestly, everybody should just try out their own version of the deck, no matter what you might see other people playing, and just see how it goes for you.
Well, thank you, Kyle, for the deck profile. I think it's really
Of
interesting.
course.
Even if you disagree, I think people will still find it interesting that, like, this is like a different way to play the deck. But yeah, this was really good. Congratulations on the top 4.
Thank you.
Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see y'all in the next video.